Hi, this is Jacques Taylor, and you're listening to JacquesTalk. This is a podcast where I talk about the Cowboys, the team I've covered as a beat writer, columnist, TV insider, and radio host for 28 years. I'll also talk about the NFL and the things I love, working out, streaming, food, and all things Dallas. Welcome to JacquesTalk, where sports is fluid. What's true today might not be true an hour, a day, or a month from now. I'm going to give you the truth straight, no chaser. Glad to have you aboard. Let's get it. Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 123 of JacquesTalk. I'm Jacques Taylor, joined by my boy Big Joe in the Big Rig, Content Dave, handling all the stuff behind the scenes. We missed y'all. We've been gone for about a week. Some of that was planned vacation, and we had some personal issues we had to deal with on Tuesday, but we're glad to be back. Episode 123. What's the sit rep, dog?
Let's see here. We are 1 minute and 8 seconds in. We are 5x5. Operation JacquesTalk is a go.
That is music to my ears. I hope you guys are prepared to be entertained and dazzled for the next hour or so. Hey, stop what you're doing right now and go to the YouTube channel. I know you're on it. You're watching. And hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment and a review. We'd appreciate it. Helps us get some of the things we're trying to get done accomplished a little easier. You can also follow the show on IG at The Real Jacques Talk. And you can hit me up on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it these days, at JJT Journalist. And remember, if you think you follow me, you don't, because my account was hijacked and your boy is not paying the ransom. 23, dog. Who comes to mind?
See,
This is a tricky one.
I got three.
Really?
Yeah. Remember, I told you the doggone McDonald's poster. There was a kid named James. The kid named James Jones. James Jones.
Oh, he was running back, Mississippi State.
That's right. All right. Tony Dorsett backup. There you go.
Yeah. A little bitty dude with a beard.
Yeah, he's good too. And Robert Bailey, I think, maybe been
Poncho.
Yeah.
Poncho.
Yeah,
Robert Bailey. Boy, that's a good one. Robert Bailey is a big time sports agent right now who works with Drew Rosenhaus.
Yep. He had that little strut after he made a play,
which didn't happen very often.
Yeah, he was good. He got paid.
He played about 8 years in the league.
He got paid. The Dolphins paid him.
Really?
Yeah, I think he went to the Dolphins. Yeah, Rob Bailey was good. He wanted too much money to stay here.
Right. Who's the last guy?
Last guy is I think Dwayne Goodrich.
Damn, I forgot about Goody.
Mm-hmm.
Goody. Yeah, Goody. Whew, boy, that's a story about Goody. I thought you was gonna say London's Bryce.
Okay, I thought he was 29.
Well, now I don't know.
Couldn't have been. Could have been. I don't know. London didn't stick around. He really, I don't know.
I was gonna say he was not around too long. He was just in the. I can't remember. It seemed like he was in the 95 or the 96 draft class. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It's been a long time ago. But that's enough about 23, because that's not a big time number for your Dallas Cowboys, who happen to have a lot of big time numbers in their inventory. We're gonna do a little something different today. I decided to introduce something to y'all that I'm gonna do a little more frequently, because I've covered the Cowboys since 1995, and within that, I literally have a million stories. Some I can talk about, some I can't. But I decided to bring a little thing I'm going to call story time. We'll come up with some cute little name for it later. But it's going to be about some of the stories I've encountered, and most of these are behind the scenes stories during my tenure covering the Cowboys. And so I figured I'd start with this one, because this is one of my favorite ones, man. And it starts in 1998. It's the Super Bowl, 1998. It's Denver. It's Green Bay. It's a great game. Brett Favre was John Elway. And it was one of, I believe, 20-something Super Bowls I went to. Now, here's the deal, though. This is the first Super Bowl I'm at where I'm not really worried about the game. This is a trivia question for you, dog. What am I worried about in Super Bowl 1998? Super Bowl 32.
There ain't no trivia question. That's like some kind of wild guess or something. I don't know. What is that? What you talking about?
What? I'm out there worried about who's going to be the next coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
Because Barry Switz has been fired.
Roger that.
It's the year is 1998, but it's the 1997
Oh,
season.
that was
so
Chan
maybe
Gailey.
that threw you off.
That was Chan Gailey, wasn't it?
Yeah. So,
Came
but
out of nowhere.
yeah, that's another story. But this story is about the Super Bowl because Chan Gailey didn't get hired until February, which is insane.
So that was Green Bay and the Broncos.
Yeah. But the game.
I think I know where you're going with this story, but I'm gonna let you get there.
Nah, you really don't.
Okay.
But maybe you do, because maybe I told it to you before.
Yep.
So I'm really out there in San Diego, one of my favorite cities, and it's all about finding out who's going to be the coach. It's not really about the game for me. And so I'm staking out Jerry Jones, and I haven't seen him. I've been looking for him. And what happens is I see scouting director Larry Lacewell walking through the hotel lobby. Now, that's Jerry's right-hand man. He's the scouting director, but it's also his boy. Okay, if I could stay with Lacewell, sooner or later, Jerry gonna come through. It's got to happen. Now, for some reason, I'm just there by myself. There's no other reporters around. And so I go up to Lacewell, who's standing at a limo. Hey, man, what's up? What's going on? I'm looking for Jerry. Well, I don't know if he's got time to talk to you, Jacques, because we're about to go somewhere. I said, well, I just need to ask a couple questions. He said, hey, take your shot when you come down. About 10 minutes later, here comes Jerry. He's walking with Lamar Hunt. And so Jerry gets to the car and says, Jerry, can I get you for a couple seconds? He says, Jacques, meet Lamar Hunt. Mr. Hunt, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. He says, Jacques.
The owner of the Chiefs.
The owner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
He says, Jacques, we're really in a hurry. We don't have time to talk. But if you want to hop in the limo with me, we could talk after I drop Lamar off at his hotel.
Well.
Now, I'm like, oh, snap. Because here's the problem. It's 1998. That's really before, cell phones are around, but they ain't really like they are now. Remember, I was in a hotel lobby. It was my hotel. I ain't got no wallet. I ain't got no phone. I'm just there with my notebook. I ain't got no money. Okay, Jerry, let's go. So I hop in the car. And they small talk. Lamar gets to his hotel. And then it's me, Jerry, Lacewell. And he says, well, we're headed over to Coronado Island for dinner. Now, Coronado Island is beautiful. Picturesque. If you've ever been to San Diego, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't been to San Diego, you need to get there because it's beautiful. So on the ride, I started asking him, hey, what are you going to do with the coaching situation? Who's coming in for interviews? Where are we at in the process? And he says, hey, Sherman Lewis from Green Bay. We're going to talk to him in a couple of days. And he mentioned somebody else. It may have been Terry Donahue. It may have been somebody else. I can't remember. We're going to talk to them in a few days. But those are kind of the people we're looking at right now. Blah, blah, blah. And so we talk about, and then we talk about some other ancillary stuff regarding the job, man. And so it's about a 20-minute ride. So I got everything I need. I'm good. Now, even though I'm asking them questions, I'm starting to think in my mind, how the hell am I going to get home? Because I ain't got nothing. Literally nothing. Nothing but me. And we get to the hotel, and Jerry says, hey, Jacques, you want to join us for dinner? Now, I'm not finna pass that up. Yes, sir. So we go in, and we go up to the second floor of the hotel, wherever we are, at the Hotel de Coronado. And I walk in the room behind him. The entire Jones clan is sitting at this long-ass table. I'm talking about Jean. I'm talking about Charlotte and Shy, her husband. I'm talking about Jerry Jr. and whoever his girlfriend at the time was. I'm talking about Steven and Karen and their kids. I'm like, I done crashed the whole dinner party. And Steven looks at me kind of funny, and Jerry says, hey, we got a guest for dinner with us. And I started laughing. And we sit down, and there's some small talk for about 5 minutes. And I say, I need to excuse myself. I'll be back. Remember, I ain't got no phone. I ain't got no computer. So I go out in the hallway and I scratch out a story on my notebook. This is 1998. I told y'all, cell phones ain't what they were. I find a payphone. Yeah, they still had payphones in 1998. And I called some phone hotel in the lobby, and I called the office, told them my situation, and said, hey, man, I got to dictate this story because I don't have anything. And so I stood on the phone for about 15 minutes dictating the story. And then I went back in the room for the private room for dinner. And when I walked back in, because I've been gone about 30 minutes, Jerry looks at me and says, I guess you got you a good story for the paper tomorrow, don't you? I started laughing. I was like, yes, sir. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And then at that point,
you wasn't
man,
in the bathroom.
No.
Yeah.
At that point, we started eating dinner, and I can't remember what I had.
Oh, man. Oh, come on, man.
No, but there's more. But the dinner was fine. And then after dinner, Jerry goes, hey, you want dessert? So we had dessert, and he's like, hey, bring me a bottle of that 100-year-old port. And he brought that, and so I'm drinking 100-year-old port with Jerry Jones and the Jones family, because by then, it's clear that, it's just family conversation then. We still talking about the team, but it's clear that, these conversations not to be reported on because, it's a lot of, as you expect, off-the-record conversations and stuff because I'm the one crashing the family party. So dinner lasts a couple hours, man. And so, again, as I'm drinking this port, I'm still thinking now, how the hell am I going to get home from here? And you know what I'm saying? Well, I guess I can convince somebody to take me back and tell them I'll pay them when I get to the hotel. I guess they'll accept that. Because remember, ain't no Uber or nothing. It's straight cabs. And finally, dinner's kind of wrapping up. And Jerry says, hey, Lace, do you and Jacques need the limo to get back to the hotel? And right then I said, God, thank you, Father.
Yeah. Would it have been bad if you asked them for a ride back?
I hadn't. No, Lacewell would have gave me a ride, but I didn't know if Lacewell and Jerry was finna head out to another spot.
Oh, okay.
Then I'd have been on my own. But Lacewell said, yeah. And so after dinner, man, me and Lacewell hopped in the limo, and then of course I grilled him for another 30 minutes back to the hotel. And got out and thanked him. And I had a couple more stories after that because Lacewell dropped some info on me. So that was one of my most memorable nights covering the Cowboys. And it was about being the intrepid reporter and just hopping in the car, not knowing what was going on or what the possibilities were. But the opportunity for that was just like, there's no way I could be like, well, I ain't got no money with me right now, Mr. Jones. Can you wait? So I was like, let's just go and we'll see how this thing turns out. And it turned out great. I got a scoop in the paper, a great conversation, and the story of a lifetime. But that's story time, and we're gonna do that a little more often, Doc.
I thought you was going. In that particular Super Bowl, Green Bay was supposed to repeat, right?
See, I told you it wasn't about the game. So
No, I'm saying. In the plane, after the Packers lost, Michael Irvin was laughing all the way back because they didn't repeat. Remember that? You told me that. Yeah.
See?
Yeah. That's what I thought you was gonna say. I mean, both stories pretty good. The one I don't remember. If you got it, I think you might have told me you got in the limo with Jerry, but right. I don't remember all the rest of that stuff. I mean, but yeah, that's the one I thought you was gonna say about Irvin. Was just tickled to death. He was laughing at the Packers the whole way back on the plane because they didn't repeat. I thought, man, that NFL rivalry stuff is real. But you could see Michael. You could see Michael giggling on the plane. I could just literally see that.
Nah. See, I don't even remember that story because when I started to go down the story time route, I literally wrote down a bunch of stories off the top of my head. And then, I'm sure as I started doing it more, some other stories will pop in that I've forgotten over the years. Like I said, a lot of them are behind the scenes.
Yeah.
In terms of relationships with players and coaches and funny things that have happened along the way.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of moving parts to this thing covering the Cowboys.
Well, Lamar Hunt, Jerry Jones in the limo. I can't think of too many more richer people in the United States to be riding with.
Nah, not at all. Let's give Clarence E. Hill Jr. a call and see if he's recovered from the Omega Sci-Fi Conclave last week in Tampa. You can't. Hey, man. You know, I know you went to Alabama State, but that's Content Dave over there and showing me the hooks. Hey, we don't even do that in private. I did that once. Clarence pulled me aside, like, don't ever do that again. I was like, well, I was just, don't ever do that again. And everybody know Clarence, Mr. Jovial, Mr. Smiley, he wasn't smiling.
Trying to FaceTime him. We don't want that.
Yeah, no, you don't want to FaceTime him early in the morning. He ain't had his coffee yet. Clarence E. Hill brought to you each and every Friday by Smokey John's Barbecue, 1820 West Mockingbird. Smokey John's, home of the Jam Session Bowl. You can also find their rub and their barbecue sauce at HEB's all over Dallas, Fort Worth. And they got banana pudding at Joe V's. Hello?
What's going on?
What's up, man? How you doing? We are wondering if you've recovered from the conclave in Tampa. That was about a week ago.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm finally getting my sea legs back.
See, that man said he finally getting his sea legs back. It's been almost a week. That's all we need to know about that. It's Clarence E. Hill. Long-time beat writer for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. I believe he says the longest current tenured beat writer in Dallas-Fort Worth on the Cowboys. He was busy last week, unexpectedly, on the 4th of July with Bootgate. What was that like? What were you doing when Bootgate broke? And that's with Dak minding his own business, being filmed with in a walking boot that set the internet on fire.
Yeah, I was, I'm always on social media, and I saw the thing, and I tried to ignore it, and somebody tagged me, and then I said, let me just go on and run it up the chain, and I see what's going on. So I texted on particular on the Cowboys, and also sent a text to Dak, and he said he got back with me. I'm the only person he got back with, but he got back with me.
Yeah, I see how you dropped that in, right?
Well, I'm just keeping it real, You want the information, you got to go to the horse's mouth, and the horse don't talk to everybody.
Right. Roger that.
Basically, and listen, I've talked to Dak regularly. We talk regularly in the locker room. We've talked since the tragic injury in 2020. And Dak has constantly talked about how he has to continue maintenance on that ankle. I mean, it was a gruesome injury. You remember the injury. It's not your normal break. He had metal put in the ankle. He had 2 surgeries, and it's something he's going to have to deal with the rest of his life. I remember my sister broke her ankle. Right. I don't know if you remember my sister broke it. I told her, Dak dealt with this stuff. She had metal put in her ankle. I said, this is something you have to do. You have to rehab this, and I don't want you when you're 60 and 70 not been able to walk. You have to rehab this. You have to continue your rehab. It's not I'm healed and I got to stop. Because it's something you're going to have to deal with, and because it's something I've talked to Dak about, and he's had to constantly deal with this, do extra, warm ups, everything he does for this ankle. And so when he said that sometimes it flares up on him when he goes on deep sea fishing or whatever, goes on boats, it swole up on him. So sometimes he wears boots for precautionary reasons, and that's what he said. And that's what happened. And if you look at, he was in the booth for about a week or so. I was on a trip, but he obviously trolled everybody. He was at the booth and, showed a picture of him waving and walking on the beach with his brother. And this week, he was running and doing everything else at his Cowboys, his youth camp. And now he's got a picture on the internet of him dancing and doing the Dougie. I don't know if you. I mean, I posted a couple of folk videos this week about him, dancing and doing the Dougie.
Yeah,
He looks
Tyron
fine.
Smith's wedding.
Yes, he looks fine. He will be at camp ready to go, and talking to the Cowboys trainers, they all say the same thing. So it was much ado about nothing, but for uh, July 4th, I'm trying to get ready to go to a swim party and hang out and eat some good food. 15 days after Juneteenth, celebrating 15 days after Juneteenth, you know, um, and I have to write a story, but that's the life of being a Cowboys reporter. It's always something, and it doesn't matter what you got going on in your life, you have to react to the news.
Now, the first thing I tell my students at my class at SMU is we talk about my tenets of journalism that I make them learn. But the first one is this is a job of inconvenience, and it doesn't care about your birthday, your anniversary, or any holiday. And if you don't want to deal with that, then this ain't really the gig for you. And the Cowboys are a little more intense than other beats, but if you're in this profession, it's a nonstop deal because you never know when news happens, and that's kind of what I like about it is that you never know when you wake up and you're on the cusp of history or you're on the cusp of something big.
Yeah, and it has this flexibility. I was able, to go to my school, my kids' school activities because I don't have to be somewhere at 9 to 5. And
Right.
I used to take my kids to the doctor. I was the one who took them to their doctor's appointments, and I was the one that, I'm flexible to do that. But just know, on Thanksgiving I'm working, on Christmas I'm working. And my kids didn't like that. My daughter used to say, "Hey, I don't like Jerry Jones. He makes you work on the holidays." When they were young, they didn't understand. Me and my girls, they're like, "You're never at home, during the holidays," and so it comes with the dinner. But that's part of it. You have to be able to react. It's part of being a journalist. I mean, whether you're a weather, you do weather, whether you do news, whether you do sports, you are on, and it's your job to deliver the news when the news happens.
What do you think is going on with CeeDee, and do you expect him at the start of training camp in a couple of weeks?
Well, let me back up. One thing that Dak talked about at his camp, outside of confirming everything he told me last week, he had a camp at South Lake the other day. He said that the Cowboys and his agent have been engaged in talks. Now, that doesn't mean they're close to getting the deal done, but
Right.
they're engaged in talks. So at least tells you that the Cowboys want to get something done. So the notion that, there's this theory that the Cowboys are just going to let it, not want to get something done and let him go into the season and start over next year. That's not their intention. I don't know why people keep putting that out there because they haven't had a deal done. They want to get something done. Yeah, clearly they want to get it done at their price. But the notion that the Cowboys, just going to let it ride and make Dak prove himself, that's not what they want to do.
Well, I mean, I think my whole thing has been you need to get it done before the season starts. I don't care if it's right before, right before kickoff, because to me, once the season starts, he don't want to be bothered with it. But more importantly, you're that much closer to free agency, so you might as well check it out. So it's good that they're talking, and this kind of thing that Jerry would like to do at the kickoff luncheon or something like that right before the season starts. But I think it's imperative for them to get it done before the season starts, if for no other reason, you're going to be talking about it all year, much like McCarthy's contract if you don't.
Yeah, no doubt. But I would also say this, and I was on a radio show the other day and said, well, when the season starts, you think that's going to cut off negotiations? I think if they give Dak $60 million, he's going to take it in August, September, October, November, or December.
Well.
I mean, that's an interesting question because at one point the answer is yeah, but at another point, I don't know. It's interesting. I think you wouldn't. I don't know. It's
Well, the thing about it is Dak said that once the season starts, he's going to focus on he's going to focus on football. And his agent doing the talking, and that's what's going to happen. Regardless, his agent's going to do the talking. Dak has been singularly focused. He's been, he's through it all. You go back to his first negotiation. Dak didn't miss anything. Dak didn't let the negotiations affect his play. He played out on the franchise tag, and he was singly focused and to work and focus on being a leader on this team. That's how he's been this entire offseason. I don't think that's going to change.
No, I think when you have that kind of confidence in yourself, and you've already been paid. So, as I said all along, the interesting thing about this is Dak's lifestyle is not changing with this contract. This is about, how much money a person of my stature deserves in the open market. It's not like a life-changing deal for him. He already got that money. And so, so there's no pressure on him. He's already been paid. This contract won't change his lifestyle, so he can focus on football. And he can let Ty friends, hey, when it's really close, let me know. Until then, I ain't really that interested about it. And
and as you said, which is true, he's in the catbird seat. Either you pay me or I hit unrestricted free agency, and you pay me to my number. So, or he unrestricted free agency. So there is no pressure for him because he knows, the money is coming. And he said the other day, the money gonna take care of itself as it always does, and it's gonna take care of itself. That was his quote. Yeah. Money gonna take care as it always does, and it will. It's just whether it's gonna be with Dallas or somebody else, but the money gonna take care of itself.
Yeah. Because the money is what the money is. I mean, Daniel Jones, who none of us thinks is better than an average quarterback, is making $40 million this year.
Forget Daniel. Go with Trevor Lawrence, and I don't care that he was the number one pick. He's done nothing since he's been in the league. He's the highest paid quarterback in football.
Yeah, he threw 5 picks against San Diego.
Yeah, look at his playoff record.
Well, so the money that quarterbacks make is insane. Matter of fact, I had a conversation. I was walking out of my building the other day. A guy stopped me and wanted to talk about the Cowboys for a minute. And he said, can we get anybody other than Dak at quarterback? I said, okay, who you want? Well, just anybody. No, you got to give me a name now. I said, okay, since you can't really give me a name, why do you want Dak out? And what you think he said? He make too much money. I said, it's not your money, dog. Why are you mad about it?
Yeah, it frustrates me that we continue to side with billionaires over millionaires. People get worried about the money. It ain't your money. It ain't, and I understand because there's a great PR campaign where he needs to take less money so he can build other players, other teams. We can put other players. Are they giving money to other players? They're already gonna pay CeeDee. I mean, who they gonna? I mean, who they giving it to,
bro? And it's one of the things I like to say is you got to always look at athletes as people, not as athletes. They're people who have their job is a 1% job. Because, hey Joe, you taking less money as a truck driver so that we can bring me in because I'm a really good driver too?
Hell no. That'd be a big hell, 10-foot hell. No, I need my money.
Thing.
Yeah.
Hey, chill. You want to bring me in, help cover Cowboys? You gonna take less money?
No, I mean, and that's what, like DeMarcus Lawrence said. You the one who decided to be the owner. That's a you problem. It's not a me problem.
Yeah.
It's true.
But beyond the money, and people say that boy he can't win and he's not good. I mean, Dak has had his 3 best years in totality over the last 3 years since they getting that contract. He's 30 years old. He's not plateaued. He's going to go get better. Even if he plays the same level, he's coming off his best season statistically. Lead the league in touchdown passes. Finished second in NFL MVP voting. The mismeet at quarterback in the draft, we've already seen great draft class, so-called great draft classes crash and burn. Right. Next year's draft class is not an elite class, not even close to this past year's class. And you still don't know what you're going to get. There's nothing out there in free agency. Trey Lance is a pipe dream at this point. Why would you want to have go into an uncertain future without a quarterback?
Yeah. I mean, the game revolves around the quarterback more than ever.
Yeah, because Dak ain't Patrick Mahomes, And the thing about it is we could talk about playoff success, but the only quarterbacks in the NFL right now that won titles, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford. That's the list. That is the list.
That's
And
two
Matt Stafford,
surefire Hall of Famers and a guy who will get consideration for it but won't make it.
Matt Stafford ain't as good as Dak at this point, and Aaron Rodgers haven't won since 2010, 2011.
Yeah. Now, so
You know, but
it's
that's it. That's the list.
well, I think
You know,
the issue
it's not
is, and
easy to win.
it's not easy to win by any stretch. But I think the other thing is the last couple of times Dak hadn't played his best football in the last game, and so that's if you play your best football in the last game and you lose, it feels a little differently. But because he hasn't, I think that's why he's why he's getting additional criticism. So it's and then he get the criticism because Cowboys as a franchise haven't won in 30 years. So when you put all of that together, I can see why the criticism comes the way it comes for him.
No, I get all of that. I'm just saying that as you look at the path forward, you have to decide. You rather cut off your nose to spite your face. That's what Cowboy fans want at this point. They want blood. And that's not how you build a franchise. That's not how you go forward. The goal is continue to get help around it, continue to improve the team, continue to improve the environment, find a way why the entire team, not just Dak Prescott, has not always played their best in the biggest moments. And,
I would agree with that 100%.
Rather than cutting your nose off and starting over. That's the problem.
As a Cowboy fan, I'm gonna say this as a Cowboy fan: Dak wasn't the problem last year.
No, he wasn't.
Not at all.
So,
the Green Bay loss, Dak wasn't the problem. All them damn points they gave up.
Oh.
The offense is allowed to score too.
I know, but shit, you still
the offense did score. They scored 32 points. The defense gave up 48. So it like I said, the bottom line is, and we're not going to get into the Dak debate because we need to move on to CeeDee.
I moved on to CeeDee, and you brought it back to Dak.
I brought it because I just wanted to reset again and talk to that. But the Cowboys as a team need to find a way to be better.
Yep.
And regarding CeeDee, it's funny because CeeDee had a camp this week and refused to talk to the media about anything. But he had a camp, and I don't know if that's a sign that things are going good, things are going bad. Just from my understanding, they're not close on getting a new deal done.
How could they not be close? The numbers are the numbers.
Because the Cowboys don't want to pay for the numbers. You know why?
That just don't make no sense to me.
They were waiting for the thing about it, they were waiting for the leaves to fall. A big oak tree fell on their head, and they don't want to deal with that. I mean, we all knew he was waiting on Justin Jefferson. They knew he was waiting on Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson set the market. You look at the numbers, and CeeDee is right there with Justin Jefferson.
Right.
That's where it is. Are you gonna come up to the market? Are you gonna pay CeeDee? He's not showing up to camp without a new deal.
That's going to be interesting because I don't know how you don't. If you want him, I don't know how you don't pay the market. And if you're not going to pay the market, then you can trade him, but that don't help you for this year. That's a disaster for this year. But if I'm CeeDee, I wouldn't show up either.
Yeah, because whatever the fines don't come close to $35 million annually. So
no, they don't. You fine me, whatever, dog. And matter of fact, whatever you find me, I won't roll over into my new deal. So I don't even care.
The difference between $17 million on this franchise, on this trivia option, and that $35 million athlete is enough to cover the fines. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think about it. But the other thing is, if you're Dallas, you really want the deal done because we all know what's going to happen. If you don't get the deal done until the night before the season open, let's just keep it real. He ain't gonna be worth a damn most of the year, or he'll have a very slow start. It's not conducive to whatever you want to accomplish this year. While you got everybody trying to prove themselves, And there's one more reason why he set up Mike McCarthy to fail. You don't even give him his people at the start of training camp or the start of the season to give him the best shot. So hopefully they get it done because he's vital to their offense. And
vital to the offense. He's the only one that scares you on offense.
That's what I mean. I just don't understand it, man.
They have no weapons that scare you. They have nothing that threatens the defense. And they're proving that threatens the defense. Without Tony Pollard in the backfield, he's the only firepower. And I love Brandon Cooks, but nobody's going to the game scared of Brandon Cooks. What he gets is based off, attention that he gets CeeDee, and so you have to get CeeDee done. And I would say this till I'm blue in the face. You have to get CeeDee done, and you have to get Dak done, because how can you justify paying CeeDee without making sure he has a quarterback that allows him to live up to his potential and allows you to get the most out of your investment in CeeDee?
I should be shaking my head, man. They seem like they've mismanaged this whole situation on both tips, and now they got a problem. And they got a real deadline because the training camp is here and then the season's here. But that's your Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, that's what it is. Or that's where we are. Like I said, I've called this the season on the brink for the Cowboys, because you got Dak right now in the last year of his contract. You got CeeDee potential last year of his contract. You got Mike McCarthy in the last year of his contract with no future beyond 24, excuse me. The entire coaching staff was on 1-year deals. More than 20 players all on 1-year deals with no future beyond 2024. And you are asking all of them to go further than they've gone in the past without doing anything to improve the team from last year.
Make it make sense, Doc. Make it make sense. As we shift topics here, one team that did seem to improve. You like the Mavericks moves?
I love the Mavericks moves. I love what they've done, and I love Clay and coming here and the other two guys coming here and what they add to this roster. Unlike the Cowboys, the Mavericks on paper are a better team today than they were at the end of the season, and that's the goal. They are a better team. You talk about the players they lost; they've improved. They're better defensively. They're better offensively. They're a better team today than they were at the end of the season, the team that lost to the Celtics in the finals. And, credit to their CEO, credit to everything they've done, credit to Luka and Kyrie for finally making the Mavericks a team people want to come to. How many times we've been here, and I remember Mark Cuban bought the team, and he was the cool, hip owner and all the neat things in the lockers, and everybody thought, and he got all the video games. Players going to want to come here. This is going to be a free agent destination. They're going to want to hang with Mark Cuban. And that never came to fruition. They never won any free agent battles. Players never came, probably because I guess players didn't want to play with Dirk. I don't know, but Dallas never became a free agent destination. And they said it was because people wanted to play with each other. And they wanted to play with friends. You see LeBron and teaming up and all this stuff. Well, Kyrie got friends. And Luka's the guy you want to play with because he's going to get you the ball. And Clay talked about his relationship with Kyrie, talked about the open shots he's going to get from Luka. And back-to-back years, Kyrie and Clay chose the Mavericks over the Lakers.
Well, I think a lot of that is Nico Harrison.
Yes.
And when you look at Nico Harrison, the Mavericks didn't have a lot of assets because they traded a lot of assets before he showed up. But he's figured out a way to get deals done. And it's, most businesses, and me and Clarence know it even better, and even Joe knows it from his perspective, dealing with store managers and all that stuff as a driver. If you're an expert in relationships and relationship building, it can help you in a bunch of different ways. And I think Nico is using those relationships he's had with people for years to get deals done and operate. And the best move I think he made the entire year, the best move he's made since he's been a GM to me, and it's kind of wild when you say it, it's acquiring Grant Williams, understanding that it was a bad fit in a bunch of different ways, and even though I just acquired him and gave him this big contract, I'm finna ship his butt up out of here because he ain't right. Because most GMs would have been like, damn, I messed this up. Damn, we stuck with him for 2 or 3 years. He was like, nah, bruh, you a bad fit. We made a mistake. We finna rectify this right now. And he got him up out of here, and he got a useful part back in place in P.J. Washington. And I think he's really he's getting some attention, but he's really the unsung hero because Donnie Nelson was here for a long time, couldn't get nothing done. But Nico has been here for a short time and got a whole lot done. I mean, they're making trades and doing deals without any real assets.
No, Nico's done a great job, and here's a guy who came from Nike exec certainly, and leaned on those relationships. I mean, knowing Kyrie from his Nike days, and that's been a key. But yeah, he has made a huge difference there, and they allowed him to make moves and make those things happen. So yeah, it's always more than one thing, and certainly again I mentioned Kyrie and Luka, but the puppet master to it all is certainly Nico Harrison.
Hey, last thing before we let you get up out of here, we got an HBCU baseball classic on today, which is Friday. Why is that important to get HBCU baseball players out there and give them a chance to be exposed?
Well, it's part of the Major League Baseball initiative to try to get blacks back in baseball. We know historically what blacks submit to baseball, and there are not a lot of black Americans in the major leagues right now, and we need to highlight these guys with HBCU teams who are still playing baseball, still playing the sport that all of us played as kids, and it was a black sport way back in the day for a long time. You go back to the Negro Leagues, and the Jackie Robinsons and Satchel Paige, and and Andre Dawson, the Hall of Famer, came from HBCU. So it's an initiative to try to find a way to get young black kids back interested in baseball, and certainly highlight the blacks in baseball who are playing at HBCU colleges. And one of the phenomenons, part of this, and of the transfer portal is kids are getting noticed, and there are kids who are playing well at HBCU, playing well at Grambling, get in the portal and go and get that money at the PWI, and so to me that's a good thing, and some people say it's a bad thing when you're losing your best player. No, it's a good thing because that tells you you're getting players that people want,
right?
And so that's a step in the right direction, and so you come in, you get a chance. That's one thing about the portal, you even with the smaller Division I schools, you get a chance to play, get a chance to show yourself, and you get to graduate and make that big money, that NIL money in other places. But it's showing players that you can go here and grow. And certainly that's what you want. You want the HBCUs to grow. You want baseball to continue to grow, and that's part of the initiative. And it's more than just a game. This week is going to be a cultural explosion, cultural event, because you got the Battle of the Bands with Prairie View and Texas Southern before the game. You have a step show before the game. Lots of things going on. It's going to be a great event Friday night. The HBU Swingman Classic is headlined by the kid Griffith Jr. He's still a kid to me. He still looks like a kid. And he's the kid Griffith. This is his thing.
Who's your dude growing up?
Man, I go way back, and so I was a big Dodger fan growing up, and I love me some. Me and my grandpa used to love some Dusty Baker, but
right.
Because I was a guy that liked to run, I love Rick Henderson. I love Willie Wilson. I used to remember Willie Wilson was Kansas City. In Kansas City, used to hit the inside the park because I was like, I went inside the park like Willie Wilson. Yeah, right. I love some Mickey Rivers. I love some Wizard of Oz, Ozzie Smith. Right. Those are all my guys.
I was a big Reds guy because my dad lived in Cincinnati for a long time, and so I was spending the summers in Cincinnati during the height of the Big Red Machine. So I got to, obviously, it was, okay, am I going to pick the Reds or I'm going to pick the Rangers? Okay, fine, I'm a Reds guy. And then I followed them for a long time because Eric Davis was my guy in the 80s. and then Ryan Gant with the Braves. So even Gary Maddox.
From Victoria, Texas.
See, I didn't know that. I just knew he was a bad man for about a 3, 4, 5 year period.
I'm proud of Victoria.
30 guy.
What's my man name? Mark Whitten. Pitched the bat. Every time he hit a home run, he threw the bat up.
Oh, Whitten.
Yeah. just act the fool. What's my Jeffrey Leonard?
Yeah.
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 So just attitude. Anybody, I liked anybody who could run. Like he said, I liked Ozzie. I like Ricky.
So you like Vince Coleman and Willie
Ricky,
McGee at the top of the Cardinals lineup?
You remember we played them games? I was running on your ass with them team.
Chill does not want to hear nothing about no video games.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I don't care.
I'm the only president of America not excited about the NCAA 25.
You damn right. That's why you damn right.
What's today? The 11th? That's 2
days.
Yeah, 2 days.
We up here plotting and planning.
2 days, man. 2 days.
Now NCAA college football 25.
Okay, I ain't mad at you, man.
I ain't mad at you, but don't call either one of us on day. Come on.
I mean,
we're going straight to voicemail.
Hey, much as you party, you ain't got time anyway. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you legendary there. You ain't got time anyway. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't play no games either. There you go.
There you go. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you,
man. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you next week.
All right.
That's Clarence E. Hill Jr., Fort Worth Star Telegram, brought to you each and every Friday by our friends at Smoky John's Barbecue, home of the Jam Session Bowl. You need to get over there to Smoky John's Barbecue. It is fantastic food. Everything on the menu is great, but that Jam Session Bowl, I'm telling you, that thing's something special. That thing different. That thing hit different. Here's what it is. It's a mac and cheese or mashed potato base. Then, your choice, 2 out of 5 smoked meats. And then all that stuff they put on a loaded baked potato, like chives and bacon bits and butter, cheese, all of that good stuff. Then, you either drench it with sauce or you drizzle it with sauce. Either way, it's good. And it is to die for. No, it is to live for. See where I'm going with that? If you got a little shorty, hey, 3 of y'all can eat off of it real easy. It's a lot of food for 2 people, but it's fantastic. I do like to tell y'all, it's real talk now, that the Jam Session Bowl is unforgettable. I like to call it love in your mouth. So, stop by 1820 West Mockingbird and get some Jam Session Bowl. And check this out. If you need some Smoky John's in your life a little more immediately than that, then hey, all you got to do is go to HEB and pick up the sauce of the rub all over North Texas. If you want banana pudding, which is delicious, scrumptious, that's really a better word for it. From Smoky John's Barbecue, they got it at Joe V's Mart over there in Dallas, right across from Maubach Church on Westmoreland. So Smoky John's is available however you need to get it, however you want it, it's available. You can even go to the website, click on the marketplace and order it and have it shipped to your crib in a couple of days. That's how easy it is. It is food to live for. Smoky John's Barbecue. Stop by. Get yourself some. As soon as I get off this fast, I'm going to get me some. Let's go to the block, Doc.
To the block.
Yes, I did say I was fasting. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I got to talk about something more serious right now. I've been fortunate, blessed if you will, not to really have to deal with a lot of drama in my life. I mean, really fortunate. But dude, I was reminded this morning. Now I'm taking this to the extreme because mentally I took it to the extreme. So I'm minding my business this morning. My uncle was in town. He's a pastor. And he hit me after a service last night and he wanted to chat. And it was cool because he was leaving town today. And so I met him and we were up talking from about 10 o'clock to about 12. So I got home late and then I got up late this morning. And so I'm rushing to the gym. So I'm about 5 minutes late. I park, and I go to a gym in downtown Dallas. It's about 5:15 in the morning.
Yeah, because at 5:10, you
I hope that didn't bother you. I said, because really I pressed it down.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I called you, because I wasn't trying to call nobody.
It was
a FaceTime call.
Yeah, it was a FaceTime. I was like, what?
I was getting my stuff out the trunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn.
It's
I said, I hope I cut it off so quick it didn't bother him. But,
it's all good.
So I get my stuff, man, and I walk down to the block, and I turn right, and I'm walking down the street. It's a 2-minute walk from the car to the gym. And dude, I hear Psing! And right after that, some 12-letter cuss word, dog, then threw an egg that just barely missed my head. And he threw that thing hard. And so it's a good time to turn the volume down a little bit. Because I looked around, I said, bitch! Just like that.
Oh, that's why you wanted me to turn the volume down. I thought the music was too loud.
No.
Yeah, I never heard that octave again.
Because I'm just like, what sorry 12-letter cuss word is up at 5 o'clock in the morning, standing outside? I believe they threw it from the roof of a parking garage along the street that I'm walking, just throwing eggs at people. That's insane to me, dog. And so I look down, and there, because you try to figure out what that is. And there's another guy walking on the sidewalk, and he looked around, and I'm looking down like, somebody just threw an egg at me, man. That's crazy. And when I went back in the gym, and when I came back out after the workout, I was showing my boys, and and one of them was an engineer, so he had to say, no, he couldn't have thrown it from that one because it wouldn't hit at this angle. I go, really, dog? But what happened was there was another one in the street. So this dude, whoever it was, dude, woman, they've been throwing eggs at people all morning. I'm just like, and when I say I took it to the extreme, it was like, this is how crazy people shoot people. Like, you just minding your business, walking down, somebody up there with a gun, and they just snipe you, and boom, you never see it coming, and you gone.
No, that's not taking it to the extreme. That's the next step. That's the evolution in what they doing.
Yeah,
Same person that would do that probably would use a gun. I was just sitting there thinking, man, you fortunate it didn't hit you, but you fortunate it was just an egg.
Yeah.
Man.
What if it had been a rock, not an egg, and it hit you?
What if it had been a round, a bullet?
Yeah. So I was just.
It's terrible.
I was just taken aback. Because I live in a fairly mundane world for me personally. Like I'm not I just stay in my little circle, do my little thing. I'm not a person who's had very much drama in their life. Not at all. And so, because I try to stay out of those situations. But this is like, you just minding your own business, man, and somebody else step into your circle and try to affect you.
So you don't think it was just you? You think he was whoever was throwing eggs at a lot of people?
Yeah, I don't think it.
That would be my question: was it just me, or was he just
I don't
throwing
think
eggs?
It was just me.
Yeah.
If it was in my neighborhood, I might have said it was just me. But to be in another neighborhood and at a random time, I don't think it was just me. I could be wrong. But I don't think it was just me. But that took me back a little bit, man. Just because of the random nature of it all.
If I was you, I'd take a different route to the gym.
Well, I was trying to think. As you're walking to the gym, there's really not but so many routes you can go. But I may park in another spot and walk in from the backside tomorrow.
Yeah, my paranoia kick in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, is that person doing that just to set up something else? You know what I'm saying? People are crazy, man.
Oh yeah. And yeah, people are crazy. So yeah, now if I get there at my regular time, I wondered would that not have even happened because I'd have been there 15 minutes earlier. So you never know.
Yeah, that's stupid. That's terrible. Just stand up there and throw eggs at people.
Dog. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Makes no sense at all. But moving on from that, have you ever done a fast?
Nah, not intentionally, no.
I was gonna say, as a soldier, did you do one unintentionally?
Yeah, in a SEER course, it's survival, escape, evasion, and something. I don't remember what the R is, but yeah, I got chased for 4 days in the jungle. We did maneuvers.
How does that work? Is it just you, or
No,
is it
it's a squad.
team?
It's probably a squad, maybe about 6 people, and they set it up where they try to find you, and you got to go to navigation points and get stuff. Say you've been there, and then they set up a zone where they try to find you. And we did pretty good at escaping, but I was with a guy who had a bad hip. The sergeant I was with had a bad hip, and he got to hurting on the 3rd day, and the 4th day he just started calling in our position. He got on the radio, and he was like, da 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 da. I said, "What you doing?" So he said, "Oh, it's done. We done." So we called in our position, and I lost 15 pounds.
Did you?
In
In 4 days?
Yeah, because it was really fun. It was really moving, and you kind of slept outside, you know what I'm saying? Slept on the ground. It was really cool. You did like a POW camp, where they once they caught you, they brought you to a little camp and question you and ask you questions and all of that stuff. And some of them guys got a little rough. And I remember one guy in particular named Anderson. I settled up with him later on, but it was fun. That was the closest I came to fasting. Was not eating, but the little SEER course that's one of the things about the Army is everything is not. Sometimes you have in the training you have fun,
Right.
and I lost my wedding band too.
I'm sure that went over well.
Nah. When I got back home, she said, "Where's your wedding band?" I came back for leave. She said, "Where's your wedding band?" I lost it. I lost its weight when I was in. Okay, went straight to service merchandise. Got another one. I didn't. I just said, you know what? I actually mean something to her. She want to let everybody know that this mine right here.
Right. Well, I decided about a week ago that I wanted to create even more discipline in my life because there's some things I wanted to accomplish, and so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fast. But it took, I like to plan things. I don't like to just be like, okay, I'm finna do it. And so I spent last week really kind of preparing myself. I went from eating, 3 meals a day or 3.5 or whatever to 1.5, and then. I was going to start it on Monday, but I had a lunch appointment that I couldn't get out of. And then the person picked a restaurant. And so I'm checking the menu out. I said, I can't believe this dude picked the one restaurant where there is not a healthy thing on the menu. And what is healthy, I don't like, so I ain't trying to eat that. So I said, okay, let me just eat this. I'm going to make this my only meal today. And then I'm going to start this fast on Tuesday. So we on day 3 of the fast today. And it fast really goes like people say it goes, man. The first day, I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. I was hallucinating about hamburgers and pizza and grilled shrimp and chicken and everything else. And I got through it. Now, I don't know that this is I've been drinking this concoction. You can find it on the internet. I did this a few years ago with a group of people, 3 of us. And it's a concoction of natural lemon juice, real lemon juice, a cup, usually a half a cup of this organic maple syrup, and then 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And all these different things do something to your body, which is why they mix them together. And it sounds like a nasty drink. And when I did this about 5 years ago, it was the worst stuff ever. So I was trying to talk to my boys. I was like, when we did this before, man, this drink was terrible. But now it just don't seem that bad to me. And I wondered if it was because I've been drinking so much sparkling water and so much water over the years that my taste buds have kind of changed. And so this is really just a different kind of light kind of water. So it hadn't been really nasty. Now I have mixed in a protein shake because I still been lifting. But all I've had is one protein shake a day. And yesterday I tried some bone broth, which is kind of nasty. So I had to throw a little garlic in it. But other than that, this is day 3. And, I felt actually pretty good yesterday. And, we early in the day on day 3, but I haven't, I'm not feeling like I'm missing out or starving or like, oh my God, I got to have something to eat. So after that first day, which was the hardest, I think a lot of this is mental. Just like you think you should be hungry at this point of the day, so I am, or I think I should be this. And so I think if you can get through the mental part, it's not so bad. And I felt better in my workouts because I felt, as you would imagine, because you got nothing in your system, lighter, leaner, So it's all good right now. So my son asked me how long I was going to do this. I said, well, I was going to do it 3 days. But now I'm just going to do it till my body says, all right, dog, what's up, man?
Just
Can
be
we get
careful.
a burger?
Be careful, man.
Why you say that?
Well, sometimes if you fast a long time.
I don't think it's going to last that long.
Well, I'm just saying, a lot of people been getting sick from that. And I'm hearing what you saying, and you doing protein shake and stuff. Some people go extreme on the fasting, and they don't get their body the nutrients that it need.
See, dog, that's a great point. But I do everything, even if I do what I would like. I think I told you when I went on that first hike, man, because I had been dehydrated once. I have great respect for it. So I was checking my hands and stuff and making sure that I didn't have any signs of dehydration and all of this stuff. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I'm doing with this fasting. That's why I took the protein shake. Wasn't no shame in my game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Some people do the extreme. They just don't. You got to give your body something. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Even the bone broth, because I didn't realize it, because I was cheap. Bone broth is expensive, dog. It's like $7 for
it's
a 16-ounce container. And I was just thinking, bump that, I'm going to get the regular broth, which is like $2. But the regular broth really ain't got no protein in it. It's got nothing. It's just more sodium and flavor.
I was going to say, it's a lot of salt.
There you go.
You hear broth, you hear broth, and that sodium is probably the number one ingredient in a lot of stuff, a lot of broth.
Absolutely. But the bone broth got 19 grams of protein. So it's significant in terms of you trying to keep some energy in your body and some fuel in your body. Mm. So anyway, like I said, I threw some garlic in it because it was nasty the other way. But for me, it's just more of trying to get a discipline to help me accomplish some of these things I'm trying to do right now. And so I decided to be extreme in that way. But it hasn't been as bad as I thought. And so, I thought I'd share that with you. So people fast all the time. Sometimes people fast for religious reasons. Talked to Content Dave this morning. He said one time he fasted to help him really work through some things he was trying to accomplish, and he wanted to really focus on those. So, it's an interesting thing. But I'm surprisingly, I'm kind of enjoying it, and I haven't felt that bad. Matter of fact, I haven't felt bad at all. Now that first day, dog, I really was thinking about all the stuff I was going to eat. Now, the thing about a fast is when you come off of it, you just can't be like, okay, I'm off, I'm finna go have me a T-bone now. It's the same thing. You got to slowly ease your way back into eating. But I'm really about to flip my diet. And my diet is really pretty good overall. But I'm about to really tighten it up because I just got some things I want to accomplish. And I feel and perform better when I'm physically fit. My diet is really good. And I'm focused on my health and personal well-being. Now, I don't know when that started because I used to be a fat guy. And none of that really mattered to me. But now it's all like what I need to kickstart whatever I'm trying to accomplish. As I shift out of that, man, what's the plan? Since Clarence Hill wasn't interested in college football, what are you looking forward to most? What do you do when you get the game? What's the first thing you do?
Well, what sucks is you gotta download it. Man, that could take anywhere from 6 hours to half a day. It depends on what you're doing. So it's gonna come out on the 13th.
Oh, is that right? I didn't realize that. Because you got it 3 days early.
You get early access.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's 2 days, dog. 2 days. I'll probably play a little bit. Give me a little franchise dynasty started, and I'm gonna get a dynasty with the best quarterback possible, and then run the offense around him.
Right.
I think USF got a pretty good quarterback. He had 800 yards and he passed for 200. He can run. He's a dual threat.
Right.
I usually look at the rosters, and see who's doing what.
Right.
We'll see. I mean, it's the most anticipated game that I've ever been. I'm trying to think, because Madden was every year, and we anticipated the new Madden, but it was But this thing is 10, 12 years in the making. And
yeah.
I've been playing the old one the whole time.
Right.
I was playing the old one last year. So now I don't know. I'm just gonna look at the rosters, see where I want to go.
Right.
And I don't know. You gotta pick a team. You gotta pick a team to rebuild. You gotta pick somebody that ain't sorry, somebody that ain't great.
Yeah, you gotta pick a middle of the wrong team.
Yeah. So that's
somebody like an Indiana.
Oof.
A Wake Forest.
Wake Forest, yes. Indiana, no.
An Arkansas. Some team like that. There's a few of them floating out there. SMU might be good right now.
They put so much stuff in the game. They put so much stuff in the game now, like the crowd chants and the stadiums and the music and all of that. It's pretty wild, man. That's why I say it's been a while since I was like, hell yeah, when is that gonna drop? When is that gonna drop?
Dude, I remember, and then we'll get up out of here. I remember when I used to take my PlayStation to training camp.
Yeah.
And I would hook it up to the TV, and then one year you had to buy a converter.
Yeah.
And I would hook it up to the TV, and I would be playing in my room at night or early in the morning or between practices. And that kept me out of trouble in training camp. Because there's some downtime, but not a lot of downtime. But because you're away from home, you can find some trouble pretty easily at training camp. So I used the PlayStation to keep me out. I did that, man, for about 3 or 4 years. And I remember one year I took Arizona State. I don't know why I remember that, but I took Arizona State and played with them a whole couple of seasons during training camp, because we would be gone at that particular time, man, like 5 weeks. That's a long time to be gone. Mm-hmm. It's almost like baseball spring training. But no, looking forward to the game coming out. I think I'm going to exercise some discipline, and I don't think I'm going to get it when it come out, because I really got some stuff I'm trying to get done, and I don't need to be messing around with the game when it first come out. And I don't need to lie to myself and say, oh, no, dog, you can get it out and play with it for 30 minutes and then put it back up and get your work done. I don't know if I'm ready for that. So I may just, I may even pop out to your house and look at it for a minute, but I don't know that I'm going to get it right away. I'm going to let it sit for a minute, I think.
I think the best thing for you to do is stay away from my house, because you come over here and play that thing. You know how that go. Hey, bro. I'm not being funny. You more than welcome pop out here. You know that. But it ain't my fault if you come out here and all of a sudden you can't get nothing done because you're like, man, that was cool. You know what I'm saying? That's where you get into trouble. But you know what? You know the deal. You more than welcome. Bring your butt out here. It's all good. But don't blame me.
Yeah.
When you up late. You trying to do some things you ain't supposed to do. That's what I'm saying. So I know you've been disciplined about that type of stuff. I'm like, you got the game yet? No. You got the game yet? No. And then next thing you know, man, you know this stuff is cold, man. You want to So yeah, so you always been like that, where you waited on the game and did that type of stuff.
About it tomorrow, I'm like, I don't know if I need to bounce right out there and get it. I just don't know. I'll let it marinate for another day or so. Make my mind up.
Well, you haven't bought a copy yet, have you?
Nah.
Okay, so then what if it's garbage? You ain't paid no money.
Right.
So that's another thing too. I'm gonna tell you if it's garbage.
Or you give them a minute to get all the bugs and the kinks worked out.
That's right.
Let them send the patch through or whatever and fix a few things.
Oh, that would be updates these days.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm dating myself on that.
Yeah, patches is way back. But
anyway,
it's all good.
We gonna get out of here. Hey, we appreciate y'all. Remember, go to the YouTube channel, Real Jacques Talk. Subscribe, like, leave a comment. We appreciate it. You can follow the show on IG at The Real Jacques Talk. Me on Twitter, X at JJT Journalist, and at Clapper, I am Jean-Jacques Taylor. Well, I do a lot of HSOs, and my content game has really increased lately. Content Dave hooked me up with a couple of ideas, and I've been off and running since then. So we appreciate it for Big Joe and the Big Rig. Till we chat again, you guys be blessed.